Welcome to Gentlemen of the Corax. This is going to be a really fun episode. We're going to be shooting out a March Madness style bracket tournament where we're going to be shooting out freshwater animals throughout time. Now, yes, you may be thinking that it's a little bit cringe. We're shooting out what animal would win against what animal, but you know what? We're here to have fun and hopefully bring some science to the talk with it. So, without further ado, my name is Benjamin Goode, and I am a Chondrichthyan researcher studying both extinct and extant cartilaginous fish. And I am, in addition to that, the owner of On Point Fossils, LLC.
I'm Joel Crothers. I work in the Department of Art at Appalachian State University. And I'm also a paleontologist and a science illustrator. And I study freshwater ecosystems and assemblages from Laramidia. And I'm starting my PhD at the University of California, Berkeley this fall.
Hello, my name is Karen Muskelly. I am a self-taught paleontologist and invertebrate paleontology specialist, and I study fossils from the Appalachian Basin.
Well, my name's Harrison Duran. I'm a paleontologist based out of South Dakota, and I primarily excavate in the Hell Creek Formation. So a lot of specimens I work on are primarily Triceratops and some freshwater specimens that I'll be publishing on, freshwater turtles, actually. So that's some of my independent research that I do. And I also am a content creator and film all of my fossil excavation preparation and research.
Hi, I'm Cole Counts. I'm a first-year PhD student at Southern Methodist University in Dallas. I do work on several localities and arrangements, but kind of the through line connecting them is that I work on Triassic stuff. And particularly, I'm a geologist, and I want to understand the environments and how the environments of Pangaea are changing through time, and how the fossil assemblages and life changes along with it.
Awesome. So now we're going to just get right started into our.
And to be clear, this is not who would win in a fight, right? This is just which one we like more.
It's a combination, so it could be whatever vibes you feel given
Okay.
we
Okay.
don't have strict rules here in
Yeah,
Gentlemen.
combat capability is but one metric.
Yes,
All right, so we're doing this Mortal Kombat style. Okay, let's do
we are.
it.
So our first matchup is Hippopotamus gorgops versus Smiloteuthis gregorii. For those that don't know, Hippopotamus gorgops, think a modern day hippopotamus, but this is an extinct species, and these got even larger than the extant ones. Whereas Smiloteuthis gregorii is among the largest of the known phytosaurs, which is a group that sort of resembles modern day crocodilians, but they are not closely related. But they were probably filling a similar niche at the time in the Triassic.
And anybody want to start with hippopotamus?
Well, I guess that we know the capabilities of hippos today, and I believe the metric is that hippos are the most dangerous land animal to people. Like I think the most deaths in Africa, besides mosquitoes, are attributed to hippos. And so I think that what's kind of interesting is that we could,
Are
for
we
the,
counting hippos as land mammals, or are we counting them as semi-aquatics?
yeah, I mean,
All of these
semi-aquatic land mammal, yeah.
Okay. Well, I think crocodiles are actually a bit more dangerous than hippos. Like,
Are they from the
which
statistic?
which one? Yeah, which one would I rather be locked in a room with? A crocodile, but
Right, right.
crocodiles like hunt people in a
Right.
way that
No, that's
hippos
true.
don't.
Hippos kill out of like anger,
Yeah,
but crocodiles are actively like, ooh, food.
yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, hippos, like we have at least some sort of metric for their physicality, whether it be bite force or ripping force or speed of swimming. And Hippopotamus gorgops is even larger than today's hippos, which are giant. So at least from the hippo standpoint, we have like some sort of metric or gauge of its ability. And so, I mean, it's obviously kind of like an interesting thing how hippos are river dwelling, yet they can't swim. They can only just walk along the ground, the actual like riverbed or swamp
Frolicking.
bed.
It's
And
more like
so,
frolicking.
yeah, pretty much just frolicking, gliding, and I guess the one thing it's in Gorgops's corner is that even from anatomical studies, the hippo, although rotund, is rotund muscle, and it's a very actually kind of lean animal. I mean, animals in nature are, lean in general. There's obviously fat and stuff, but a hippo is a lot more muscular than you might think. And so we just have a gauge for what it can do. However, there is a question mark with a phytosaur, and especially a phytosaur as big as a Smilasuchus. Is the brute force that we know that a hippo could do, is that going to be better than this phytosaur? Who knows? I mean, are there any metrics that we could bring up on the bite
So
force or?
the comparisons with the crocodilian comparison with phytosaurs obscures a lot of the more interesting and unique parts of the phytosaur anatomy. Phytosaur, when a crocodilian wants to get, crocodiles all have like pretty narrow, long snouts. When a crocodilian wants to get a make its skull more robust, it gets wider, right? And it increases expansion for muscles in the back of the jaw. But all phytosaurs have very narrow snouts. If they want a more robust skull, more biting power, they make it deeper, which is a very like dinosaur or
Mhm.
Raleigh-Suchian type thing to do. They have armored throats, which crocodilians don't have. Their teeth, phytosaurs are pretty heterodont. They have different portions of different tooth placements within the jaw, do different things, but their maxillary teeth, kind of in the middle of the jaw, are carinated and curved for like a dinosaur's of theropod tooth would be, very unlike the generalist pointy fish catcher dentition on even some of the big dangerous crocodiles. So phytosaurs are like living like crocodiles, but kind of like have a lot of adaptations that kind of make them more dinosaur-like in interesting ways. Their posture, crocodilians all have like very sprawling posture. It's not as bad as lizards who are like just scooting their bellies across the ground, but modern crocodilians are all pretty wide, like they're doing a push-up. But in the case of phytosaurs had pretty narrow gauges to their walking. They had short limbs for their semi-aquatic habit, but in terms of how they held themselves and how they carried their legs, it's more like a Postosuchus. So they would have been a lot taller when they were on land as well. So I think and the footprints, the few phytosaur tracks we have from the Chimley Dockham group bear that out as well. And yeah, so I think phytosaurs are really neat. There are the largest known Smilasuchus specimens that are like really good and complete are upwards of 20 to 25 feet. There are, however, some super giants known. And this last weekend, I was actually at Texas Tech doing some field work with Dr. Jeff Martz, who's done a lot of the paleo art that you just saw of phytosaurs. And there's a new phytosaur exhibit at Texas Tech, and it's got a life-size painting of a phytosaur right next to the exhibit. You can stand next to it, and it is pretty terrifying.
Yeah, so I got the weight metrics because that's usually, I mean, if you unless you're dealing with venom, weight is typically kind of king size is king when it comes to fighting. So they're going to be at about the same size as the metrics I've seen, at least on the initial search. It's that the Gorgops is going to be 8,600 to over 9,000 pounds, and then Smilasuchus, gregorii is going to be about 1.5 to 5 tons. So if you're looking at the biggest estimates of them, they're going to be at a similar weight.
And if you think about it, it's how we could model this playing out is with the modern day smaller analogs, like a smaller modern day hippopotamus. And while a Nile crocodile isn't exactly a phytosaur, they're still ecologically going to be fairly similar. And I see a lot of times the modern day hippopotamuses come out on top when
Well,
they want.
most crocodiles I don't want to turn this into a who would win in a fight that much. So modern crocodilians have a huge, they're growing throughout their lives. They have a huge size range. Uh, so most of, I mean, obviously a hippo is bigger on average, but hippos are also like generally a lot bigger on average than a crocodile. There are rumors of supergiant crocodiles like Gustav, if you've ever been to that corner of the internet. Gustav, the huge Nile crocodile, who reportedly hunted hippos. So, and I think that crocodiles on average are much smaller than hippos. But if we're looking at max sizes and two animals that are the same size, I think this is going to be a much tighter competition.
Yeah, and then assuming if we're basing off of that picture that you showed with that new size estimate to that one
Yeah.
femur,
Yeah.
that's like that thing could definitely kill gorgops for sure.
The thing with gorgops too, though, like modern day hippopotamus, the dentitions are crazy on those.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
teeth are absolutely brutal, and you're
Yeah.
talking about a monster hippopotamus essentially with similar type of dentitions, which
And the
those.
bite force is absolutely insane with them too. I mean, we're talking about, per square inch, right?
Mhm.
Well, you know what the only thing that's got a bigger bite force than a hippo on land?
Would be a crocodile.
Crocodile. Yeah.
Yeah.
If we're
And
going by aura, and I say this to somebody that's worked on phytosaurs, I gotta go with hippopotamus gorgops. It is so awesome. Like
Ooh.
it is just such an
Phytosaurs?
objectively cool creature.
Okay. I'm going to start pitching phytosaurs now from a non who would win in a fight perspective. Uh, so
They're okay.
phytosaurs,
I've
they're
worked on
they're
them.
really cool, but they're also their fossil record is so good and their skulls are so weird and intricate that they're one of the only vertebrate fossil assemblages that are used biostratigraphically with like a biostratigraphic classification system. The Chinle-Dockham rocks of the American Southwest, along with some of the stuff in the Chugwater and the Poposia Formation, are dated in lieu of suitable radiometric dates with phytosaur fossils, which is really cool. Their teeth look awesome. Uh, and a hippo is just the hippopotamus gorgops, I'll be honest, it's a slightly bigger modern hippo.
I mean, phytosaurs are really interesting, and there's not a lot of people that really talk about them. I mean, when you're talking about like top predators in the Triassic, most people will say, oh, dinosaurs were there, but dinosaurs were kind of small towards the early Triassic to mid-Triassic. They really didn't start to get up to large sizes until, say, the late Triassic, all the way into like the early Jurassic. And so, like the Rauisuchians and I think the Phytosaurs are probably the top predators at the time.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't like ignore Rauisuchians. Phytosaurs are the largest predators in any of
Yeah.
these ecosystems.
Here's the
Um,
thing too, though. If we're looking at hippopotamus, if we didn't have any hippopotamus today and we just had their
but
fossils, we would
but
still
we
think
do,
it's one of the coolest. Yes, but we have modern
but
competitors
we do.
list too. But like we
Yeah,
can't knock something as being less cool because there's still similar ones alive today.
look,
Yeah,
if you
I
were
vote
to,
hippo all the way. I vote
I'm going
hippo.
hippo too. Like if we're going
Yeah,
based on both
all
aura
the way.
as well as who would win in a fight, like that classic, knuckle brain type of scenario, I would go hippo.
Listen, I love Phytosaurs. They're really cool, but yeah, I got to go with the hippo on this one.
believe that settles it.
You're outnumbered, sir.
the
Look at Cole.
Triassic, people can just not stop hating on the Triassic. It's like a pathologic need amongst paleontologists to go, well, the Triassic is cool, but the Cretaceous or the Miocene is cool. Sorry, you
Hey,
can
I
cut that.
I
love
think
Dublin, so
I'm just sour.
no, my
Arabia
Jurassic Fight
Minuta.
Club, he'd be ripping all those fleshy lips right off the hippo's face. Don't worry. I'll commission some art for you. Just see him just ripping
Anyways,
off
I
that hippo's.
I I had a great weekend. I found a lot of Phytosaur material this weekend, so I kind of wanted to at least make a good case for Phytosaurs, and the listeners should be more interested in them. So
They're
And
neat.
even though the council has voted, I'll say if the Phytosaur that you linked in that picture showed up, I think it'd win.
yeah, that's your average sizes versus max sizes. Yeah,
I
Yeah.
mean, we do have some extensive Triassic deposits here in the
they
Newark
do. Yeah,
system.
there's a big East Coast Phytosaur, Rudiodon.
Yeah, Rhyodon. Yeah. We got their footprints as well, along like in places like in New Jersey.
So our next competitors are Deinosuchus riograndensis versus Sarcosuchus imperator.
Ooh.
Imperator. Put a little bit of put a little bit of Roman spice on it.
I'm too American to do that.
I'm sorry, the first one again was
Was Deinosuchus
Dinos
riograndensis.
Rio.
Rio Grandensis. Yeah, I'm gonna say Deinosuchus Rio Grandensis
I'm gonna
anyway.
say Deinosuchus
I
too.
think it's absolutely massive.
I'm just gonna go
Yeah, no,
Carcharhinus.
it's like preposterous. Yeah,
Well,
we'll
we
go
need to at least talk
Dinosaurus.
about them a little bit. So
Yeah,
if people
Everybody
don't
who's
know.
listening knows what Deinosuchus is.
Well,
It's a
so
bigger
Maybe
croc.
not.
It's a
Yeah,
bigger
maybe not.
one.
It's a big alligator, maybe.
Alligator, sorry.
Alligator
maybe
void.
maybe not.
No,
Maybe not. It
Maybe
might be just
not.
the
Maybe
basal
not.
maybe
marsupial
not.
according to
Yeah.
the yeah.
Yeah, isn't Ben Mueller publishing on that? Like identity affinities of
So
Deinosuchus riograndensis?
I think
yeah,
so.
I believe
Yeah.
so. And then Sarcosuchus is a phallodosaur, right?
Sarcosuchus. Yeah, Sarcosuchus is not even a true
I think
crocodile.
it's a true
Yeah, I think it's a
crocodilian.
phallodosaur is the group it's in.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Which are really cool looking, but they kind of look like scaled up gavioid crocodilians, but they're like not closely related to them, right?
Yeah, so Sarcosuchus is going to have a much narrower, longer snout compared
Yeah,
to Deinosuchus, which is, kind of like modern day.
it's more flat and a lot wider. It's got a lot more of
Yes.
a wider circumference.
Yes, which
Um,
really, I think, lends itself more towards a hyper aggressive bone crushing
yeah. I mean, the teeth
cross
are
section.
like a lot more robust. If you look at the cross section of the teeth of Deinosuchus, it looks like a almost like a railroad spike. I mean, they're just massive, and the crushing force on these things, per square inch would have been phenomenal on this creature.
Yeah,
I
and
think
they would have been
Deinosuchus
fairly
embodies
comparable
Sarcosuchus.
sizes.
I think Sarcosuchus is cooler looking,
I agree. I
but
agree. R, I go
yeah,
Sarcosuchus.
Well,
it,
Sarcosuchus is
Yeah.
more alien to us.
yeah,
That's in
right.
that
Right.
lived in the same environment as Suchomimus, right?
Yes.
Yes,
I
it,
saw the real Sarcosuchus in Italy this New Year's, and
Oh,
I
neat.
didn't know it was there. I was like, oh my gosh. Yeah.
I think it's with the El Raz formation. I'm probably butchering that formation name.
Yes, I think Mesiosaurus comes out of that too.
yeah, I believe so.
An
Yeah.
Uranosaurus.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, because they
Yeah,
have
El
Very,
Raz. Yeah,
very
yeah.
noble dinosaur.
very cool
Thanks.
dinosaurs.
Sarcosuchus brings back memories to me as a kid because I remember watching the National Geographic documentary on that as a kid. I think it was called like Super Croc or something like that.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
That was with Paul Serena, right?
I,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bumped into a Sarcosuchus IPA when I was working at a brewery one time.
Oh, that's so cool.
Because it's an imperial pale ale and the species name is Imperator.
Yeah.
Imperator. Um,
Yeah,
I got to explain it. I'm sure it was a very cool and not annoying way to all the bar goers. The how why that name was doubly funny.
For me, Chased by Dinosaurs is what started my love with Sarcosuchus.
That's a good one. Yeah.
So
Yeah, but
yeah, both of these things have tried to attack Nigel Marvin, right?
yes.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Yes.
Deinosuchus was also in that one too.
Oh no, that was a prehistoric park.
Was that That's also by
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's what the
Yeah.
Parasaurolophus. I think
Yeah.
it's supposed to be the like Kirtland Formation or the Aguja, maybe. I can't remember.
He had Albertosaurus in the background, so
Take that as what you wish.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah,
It was probably yeah.
right.
It was probably the Kirtland. I was going with the Kirtland.
Yeah,
And going back to Deinosuchus, for people that don't know, so up till pretty recently, Deinosuchus hatcheri was considered the like the predominant large Deinosuchus, whereas pretty recently it was labeled as non-diagnostic, the original material for Deinosuchus hatcheri. So nowadays, it seems that Deinosuchus riograndensis is being used for these really, really massive Deinosuchus that are found in, I believe those are in the Laramidian side
Yeah.
of the Western Interior Seaway, whereas you have smaller Deinosuchus species on the Appalachian side with Deinosuchus schwimmeri.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
I
sounds right.
I would say as far as these two competitors, I think that Sarcosuchus is awesome and still has my heart from Chased by Dinosaurs, but at the same time, Deinosuchus is just such an incredible evolutionary feat. I think with that just monstrous crushing skull, just like an immensely powerful thing that would have essentially been able to go after whatever it wanted. I
Like,
would
yeah.
give my vote for Deinosuchus.
Like I saw someone post a picture a couple years ago. I can't remember what paleontologist posted it. But he had posted a picture of the skull, half of the skull of Deinosuchus, and it was half of his size. I mean, you're talking about a creature that can what at least get what 36 feet, if not longer than that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and size
Yeah.
estimates are definitely tough and they keep changing.
Yeah, yeah.
Things tend to get smaller as time goes on, but I will say no matter
Jaekelopterus.
what, it was still a monster.
They're crocodilians. Crocodilians have enormous size ranges, so
True.
uh, I'm sure the largest one ever is going to be substantially larger than any one in the fossil record, in a way that more warmer blooded animals like mammals and dinosaurs are not.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go Deinosuchus.
Me too.
Yeah,
Dinosuchus all the
yep,
way.
you do that too.
This was
I vote
not a
Sarcosuchus
competition.
because I'm a contrarian and I want everybody to know it.
Yeah, that was an easy one.
Our next one is, I think, a little bit more difficult. It's a little bit more of an oddball matchup, but we have Enhydriodon omaensis versus Pristis pristis.
Okay, I am not sure what that one is, the first one.
So that is the giant otter that was lion-sized in Africa.
Whoa.
Yeah, here I'll.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, was that the one on prehistoric planet Ice Age? Well, we
Yes.
wouldn't know because they didn't include any taxonomic information for any of the animals. Because apparently that doesn't play well when you're on your phone and
I will say then,
Yeah,
for this list of all the animals on here, the otter actually creeps me out the most.
it
I
is.
really don't like that thing, and therefore it has my vote because sawfish are great. I love sawfish.
Yeah.
One of the things that in my PhD we're going to look at is the occurrences of pristids in Laramidia, and they're are they competing with saw skates and things? But the otter creeps me out, so it's got my vote.
So
okay.
So
Damn.
the otter, and that's fairly recent. So that would have been in the Pleistocene, and we would have had Priscus in the Pleistocene as well. But Priscus, for those that don't know, that's the large tooth sawfish, and those are still around today, and they get massive too. Like I don't think people realize just how large some of the largest ones of these go, but you're talking over 20 feet long for max sizes on these for extant ones. So these are massive, massive elasmobranchs. And they're sawfish, so as far as weaponry go, they have that elongated rostrum with those rostral denticles lining them, which is a trait that's evolved multiple times within Chondrichthys, within the elasmobranchs in particular. Because in the Cretaceous, we had sclerorhynchoids, and then there's saw sharks as well alive today, which have a similar thing. But I think out of the living ones, the large-toothed sawfish is just truly an incredible animal beyond measure when you're talking a 20 plus foot long ray with with that saw. It's crazy. And I think that it's a harder matchup than what it would appear to be because while that is an incredible animal, at the same time, a lion-sized otter with mammalian intelligence. They're probably social animals too, I would
Oh,
imagine,
for sure.
because
Yeah.
modern day otters are.
All of them are, yeah. If anybody's ever played the game Ancestors, it's a game where you play as like an Australopithecus. It's a bad game. Great vibes, good music. Bad game.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
the otters are an enemy in the game, and you can hear their like weird little clicks and like squeaks from like a long way away, and they're so creepy. And you gotta like bash one's head in with a rock. Yeah.
No, it would be terrifying because as an Australopithecine, you're like 3.5 feet tall. So you
The
get
game
murked.
makes you way more powerful than you should be, to where you're like taking out like Mackay rodents with like with like a rock, and you're just
Yeah.
um whatever.
Well, I
Didn't
guess
didn't
the
the,
question
didn't the
is,
sawfish like cut a guy's head off one time?
I'm not sure if I've heard that.
Okay, I
I've
thought I saw
yeah,
the reference.
I've heard that story before, but
Yeah,
But I mean, you don't want to get on the other end of those
no.
rostrum.
no.
Um,
So,
I I guess the question is, do we think that one of those ancient otters would have been able to successfully hunt something like a Pristis?
If there's like 10 of them, maybe.
well, I
Not
think one
not
one of those
one.
could just dive in and get one.
Really?
Yeah,
Get a
but
Pristis.
mustelids are such insane animals, and they can go after things
Oh
bigger than
yeah.
themselves. So yeah,
I think it
yeah.
would, but let's say you throw in this since fighting isn't the only metric, and the sawfish have been around for so long. I actually might have to switch my vote to sawfish just purely off of we're talking about a river dwelling species. Bro is still around, you know?
I mean,
True.
it's a body plan that generally works well. I mean, again, in the Cretaceous,
Right.
you had skates which were doing a similar thing. Granted, it wasn't the exact same animal, but at the same time, that's a body plan that evolved convergently and was very efficient. It was extremely prevalent in the Cretaceous, and sawfish are extremely prevalent in the Paleogene up to now. So
Yeah, true.
it's a tough
Yeah.
one.
And what
I,
the only
I'm
defense
going
don't
sawfish from one Pristis.
but only the only defense is on the sawfish is what? Just the
that
body.
massive rostrum.
Not the rostrum. And then what does the otter have? I mean, intelligence, I guess,
Powerful
would be
bite.
weaponry,
Yeah,
but you
a
know.
huge brain. It works out at the library.
It's got a pretty nasty bite too. Otters generally just
Yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna go sawfish as well. I mean, I'm biased obviously, but
I
Yeah,
will too.
I will as well. Simply, yeah.
I maintain otter, but I understand. I see where you guys are coming from.
yeah, well, I guess 3v2 or 1. I don't know what Cole chose. What did you choose,
I
Cole?
I kind of don't care, but what's the contrarian opinion?
That would be your otter.
Actually, it's probably the sawfish. No, I mean, I vote sawfish because, yeah,
There you go. Sawfish has it.
yeah.
Nice.
Our next lineup is also an interesting one. We have two Paleozoics. We have Jaekelopterus
Old Pinchy.
rhenaniae
Oh
versus
man.
Rhizotus hybridae.
Woo.
I know which one I'm gonna go, but I want to hear.
I what? I say
So
it again.
we have Jaekelopterus versus Rhizotus.
Right.
What?
Jaekelopterus is like one of the largest eurypterids.
Nah, dude,
What?
it's the
I'm gonna show you
The
one
largest
picture that I think
eurypterid.
will sell you on Rhizotus. This is
Okay.
a
Fair
Rhizotus.
Oh
enough.
my God.
Fair enough.
Oh God. Okay,
That's fair.
that's my
That
vote.
is a
That's my vote.
Rhizotus tooth
What
Yeah,
is
Rhizotus.
it
That's
eating? The
very
Rhizotus
Carboniferous
would
in a
yeah.
Carboniferous swamp. What is it eating?
So
Good
that they
Lord.
call those dentary tusks, and
Why
these
are
were
you that
fish.
big?
These were tetrapodomorph fish. So they were lobe-fin fish
Ah,
that got over 20 feet long in these
Okay.
carboniferous freshwater environments. And to answer your question, Cole, I would imagine whatever they wanted.
Well, yeah, but like
However they want
you got to
to.
have enough food to sustain yourself. And what's in a carboniferous swamp besides 3 foot long amphibians?
There's
See,
lots of stuff. You have lots of you have xenocanth,
Yeah, you had some xenocan sharks in
Chondrichthyians, you
there.
have other
but then
Yeah.
why not be 10 feet long? Why be 30 feet long?
Yeah, yeah,
My
exactly. Yeah,
question.
my point exactly. Which I mean, I don't think Rhizotus is 30 feet. It's more like 15, 20.
I think I seen one of those at the
Yeah.
university. Was it at the Cincinnati Science Center? Glenn Storrs
Yeah.
was showing something very similar to that.
He's dedicated his life to correcting Tiktaalik's mistake. He's trying to eliminate all tetrapods from going into the water in a carboniferous swamp.
Why'd you have to do this to me, man? You know I like invertebrates. Gosh darn it.
Yeah, no, I mean
Yeah,
it's
sorry,
aura.
buddy.
It's aura. So Cam, you can actually still vote for the invertebrate. It's aura. It's not who wins in a fight.
Yeah, but look at this guy.
This is an evolutionary
No,
marvel right
it's
here.
actually
Essentially.
6 meters, 20 to 23 feet. Yeah.
And you have
Crazy.
extremely powerful pectoral fins on these. And they're like along the lines of, the tetrapod condition. They're not a true tetrapod, but they're still a tetrapodomorph, which is really cool. And then we can compare it with the sea scorpion, which
Okay, yeah. Let's go to the sea
can help
scorpion.
us with. 'Cause these are no joke animals too, in
Yeah,
another
these are these are
dinosaur
these are
class.
massive.
Imagine that thing grabbing your ankle in a muddy, brackish
I'd
environment
piss myself.
in the
I'd pass
Devonian.
out.
Actually, I don't know. This
Well,
one was walking with monsters, I believe.
Imagine
They
that.
were developing.
No, that was Pterogodus, which is Jaekelopterus is a pretty new
Is it
find, or at least the big one.
isn't Jaekelopterus a pterodactyl though?
I believe so.
Pretty sure it's
my
pterodactyl.
my summary of the encounter would be like when they feed crabs to the puffer fish in a tank. Have you seen that? Where puffer fish just
Yeah.
like devour and
Yeah.
crunch up
Just
the
like
crab.
slice them up.
Yeah.
I've got a section of one of these. It's not this one in particular, but it is
I'm
a
I'm
pterodactyl.
way more
That's pretty
afraid
cool.
of the scorpion. That thing is
It's
I don't know.
that
I
thing's a
listen,
beast from a far older world. Yeah, imagine that thing pinching your dangling extremities.
You're trapped in old earth and you're running
Old,
around in waist
yeah,
deep water.
old pinchy. There's a really good piece of paleo art that's got a
sorry, sorry.
Jaekelopterus from the Devonian, half submerged in water, and in the background there are prototaxites, the giant, towering, maybe not towering, the giant log mushroom. See if you can find that Jaekelopterus and prototaxites, Devonian.
I was at a museum once and they had an exhibit and it had a reconstruction of Jaekelopterus and yeah, it was genuinely terrifying.
Ooh, I can't find it.
don't know how to spell prototaxites.
No, that's correct. Let me see if I can find it
Well,
on screen share.
the new Prototaxides discovery. Did you guys hear about that?
I did
Yes.
not.
It's basically a new kingdom of life, is what they think these were. It's insane.
Wow.
It's a new life. It's not a fungus. It's not a plant. It's not an animal. And so they think that the prototaxides, those giant fungal-looking spires, because it's always on popular paleo media, prototaxides are those, Devonian giant little spires that they think that were fungi, but they weren't. They were another. They were kind of had similar structure to their cells, but or to their tissue, but they were a completely different thing. There's something in the geochemical analysis proved that they weren't a fungus or something because we find lots of them and they're huge, so we could take cross sections like a tree, and then they found there was a new kingdom of life that just evolved, went extinct. There's nowhere else to be found so far on Earth.
Okay, I got it. I'm going to share screen really quick. You see it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
that looks good. I think that's cool. I think that's cool, and it's so cool that I'm going to vote for Jaekelopterus.
I don't know. I mean, Rhizotus is one of the craziest animals, I think, from the Paleozoic.
So are
I'm
the giant
going.
ursids.
I'm
Yeah,
going official.
I know I'm about to be outvoted,
yeah. I'm gonna
but
go
I
with
still love you.
Jaekelopterus. I love invertebrates. It's
Let's
the only
go,
invertebrate on the
Cam. Let's
list.
go.
Day
I'm going
No
with
two.
it.
way.
I'm going with it.
Look at Rhizotus. Look at this monster.
Joel, what's your vote? It's
Not
two
even
Rhizototus.
close,
against
Jaime.
one
It's not
right
even
now.
close. Come on. As you said, it's the pufferfish just like chopping up the crabs, right? I mean,
Okay.
It's not
I'm
who
go
would win the fight.
Come
I'm
on.
Maybe
that
we
tooth
should
is
have it.
ridiculous.
I
This is
think
who would win in a fight.
it's almost so impressive though. Like even who would win in a fight, the animal itself is so
Right,
impressive that I'm
right.
gonna go I'm gonna go
The
with
aura is
Rhizotus as
better.
well.
It is,
Come
Yeah,
but
on.
it's
Come
good.
we
Good
on.
lower
should not
points
turn
there.
this into who would win in a fight because I want people to collaborate with me after this episode is over. So
No, I'm sticking to Jaekelopterus. Sorry, guys.
So I think we have 3 for Rhizotus, though. So
Yeah.
Dang. Oh, this
okay,
is
All right, next
are you
one.
sharing it, Ben?
yes, I'm sharing again. Our next lineup is Pannoniasaurus inexpectatus versus Prionosuchus plummeri.
okay. I'm not familiar with any of those.
So Pannoniasaurus is one of those freshwater mosasaurs.
Hmm.
Really? Oh, okay.
Dude,
Yeah, that's neat looking.
Early mosasaur?
When was this from?
he's from like the Santonian, I think.
Yeah, so it's not like super recent, but
Yeah, I think it's like 83 MA. I think.
Oh wow. It's got a pretty decent complete, almost nearly complete skeleton.
He's cute. I like him.
And then what was the other one?
so the other one is Prionosuchus.
Oh, Prionosuchus takes this easy.
Oh
Yeah, I
yeah,
agree.
yeah.
Easy.
I agree. Prionosuchus is awesome.
Wasn't this also in like the Ice Age, the Meltdown? Wasn't one of those
I
in
don't
it?
Oh yeah,
Oh,
I know what you yeah.
I know what you
purple guy,
I
mean.
think it
right?
was, yeah. I think it
I don't
was
think
pretty
any of those things
much.
are real. I
True.
want to say it was a Metriorhynchid.
Yeah, I
The
think
weird
it's
the
supposed to be
purple one with the
Metriorhynchid.
long
It
snout.
accidentally looks just like this thing, though. Yeah.
Yeah. And the other one's a pliosaur. But yeah, Prionosuchus, largest temnospondyl ever. Temnospondyls are this like
Okay.
totally extinct group of amphibians, like whatever you want to. Turns out the word amphibian loses its meaning in a lot of ways when you look back in the deep time. It's like reptile in that way. So some people only believe amphibian should be used to refer to crown group amphibians, which a crown group in phylogeny is the last common ancestor and all descended from it of all the living surviving um, members of the clade. So all modern amphibians are Lys amphibians. They share an ancestor in the Triassic period, along with that's the Triassic has a lot of last common ancestors in it. But so are temnospondyls amphibians? Maybe yes, in the way you're thinking of it, but not according to some people who are really into phylogeny. But you know what? Maybe we should ignore them more anyway. So uh,
Amphibian-ish.
yes, amphibian-esque. It's a
Yeah.
huge 25 to 30 foot long amphibian from the Permian. Super cool from a time of really diverse temnospondyls. Yeah, Prionosuchus. It's got a weird narrow jaw, which is like most temnospondyls have very wide jaws.
Right.
Uh, but
Right.
yeah,
Because
Prionosuchus.
most of the ones you're thinking of have those super wide jaws.
Right. Yeah. In the Triassic, temnospondyls are very common in the Triassic assemblages of North America, and they get called the toilet bowls because they're giant, flat, round heads with a hollow lower jaw, are and a totally solid top of the head looks exactly like a toilet seat, and then you lift the lid up, and then there's the toilet.
Yeah. No, I'm going with Prionosuchus too, just out of that uniqueness to it.
Yeah.
And I think
Also,
it actually walks the walk with regards to a scrap between the two. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if we're talking about size 2, with how impressive Prionosuchus was compared to other temnospondyls, it is way, way more unique, I think, than Pannoniasaurus, which was what, like estimated to be around 20 feet long, which for a mosasaur, like that's pretty run of the mill. I mean, it's cool that was found in a freshwater environment, but outside of that, it doesn't really seem like a super unique animal compared to Prionosuchus.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Prionosuchus on this one.
Prionosuchus, easy.
Yep.
Yeah,
Sweet. Next one.
Next one. This one's fun for me because we have Carcharhinus leucas, which is the bull shark, compared to Orthocanthus texensis, which is a Paleozoic Chondrichthyan that was also an elasmobranch, but it was fairly distantly related to true sharks. And these would have, been found in freshwater brackish environments like that. You can find these in North America, but they have these really cool Diplodont style tooth designs. Really, really cool. They're used for gripping prey. They had a cool fin spine on them and a uniquely eel-shaped body, even though not truly eel-like, but you do hear comparisons for them.
Bull shark.
So you're looking at something like that. It's an interesting body plan and xenocants, which this
But
belongs to
they
that
ate
group of animals.
poop apparently. Oh wait, no, two. Oh, okay. It's eating a smaller shark, and
wait,
the tooth
wait,
was
isn't there a no, it's a tiger shark. There's like a Miocene turd that has a tiger shark bite mark in it from like Maryland.
yummy.
It is not a bull shark. I apologize.
Yeah, I mean, both of these got to fairly comparable sizes, at least estimated wise, with Orthocanthus hitting around the 10-foot mark. And bull
Yeah.
sharks, you can get really large individuals nowadays at around 10 plus feet long. So they're both decently sized chondrichthyans. I would say though, bull sharks are probably a better generalist and just how hyper aggressive they can be and just how stout and built their bodies are. I would probably give the edge to the bull shark over the orthocanthus, even though the orthocanthus has good defensive features like that dorsal fin spine. They're going to be a more slender animal than a bull shark is. And
Yeah, I
yeah,
gotta go with the bull shark.
I think that the bull sharks are better equipped too. Their tooth designs are just well suited for just about anything. So for
Yeah.
comparison, I'm
I
sure.
choose bull shark.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah, I'll go with
Okay,
bull shark.
Ben, when you come visit me in Texas, which is going to happen soon,
Yes,
we need to drive up to Oklahoma to Tulsa because they have bull sharks in an aquarium.
that sounds awesome.
Yes,
That sounds
right.
awesome.
I want to make a road trip out of it so badly, but I need somebody to go to carpool with and split the cost of gas.
Yeah, I would be down.
It's like a whole tunnel. You go in and it's full of bull sharks and like not babies.
Yeah, no, that would be really cool. And bull sharks too, they're within a group of sharks called the Carcharhinids. So this is an extremely predominant group of sharks nowadays. And they're again like the best generalist design, I would argue, out of any extant shark group. Compared to the xenocants, which you did have some marine xenocants, you have freshwater xenocants, but they seem to be, in my opinion, a more specialized animal. And they get a massive hit taken out this group of animals with the Permian mass extinction. Although you do see some xenocants slither on into the Triassic, but they lack diversity in the Triassic and they become extinct within there. They don't make it into the Jurassic that we know of. Whereas with Carcharhinids, they really, really became successful sharks throughout the Paleogene and up until today, which we see with their diversity. And bull sharks are one of the most diverse of those as well, being euryhaline, meaning they can survive in saltwater, brackish, and freshwater. So they're, I think, overall the better pick.
Yeah, agreed.
Agreed.
I vote for Orthocanthus because I'm in the same state as it, and I will be
I'm
the
sure there's
consider.
a bull shark somewhere in Texas.
I think Orthocanthus looks cool. Okay,
It does look cool.
it looks cool. There you go. There's my reason. If I saw a bull shark in person, I'd vote for bull shark. So get on that, Ben.
What would you say, Tim?
What I'm gonna go with bull shark. I was gonna ask, like, what is the size estimate of Orthocanthus?
I've heard estimates up to around like the 10-foot mark.
Okay.
So you're looking at probably at the max size, like a comparable length to a bull shark. But again, a bull shark's going to be a more stout 10 feet than
Yeah,
North
yeah.
Aquarius would.
I'm going with bull shark on this one.
The next lineup is Spinosaurus aegypticus
Come
or
on.
Egyptia, yeah, compared to Titanoboa cerrejonensis.
They're Hanensis.
Gee, I wonder what's going to win this one. So I refuse to form a single opinion about Spinosaurus until we're 2 years out from the most recent paper arguing over them.
Yeah.
So
See,
I'm gonna not talk.
Spinosaurus is my favorite dinosaur of all time. So
So tell us a
it
little bit
is.
about Spinosaurus.
So Spinosaurus is a meat-eating dinosaur. I want to say it's from it's from North Africa. Um, it was found it was described in, I want to say, 1907. Is that right? Or 1909? By Ernst Stromer. And the first skeleton of Spinosaurus was actually destroyed in the World War II bombing raid in Munich. Its bones were housed in a museum in Munich, Germany, and were destroyed. And ever since then, we've been sort of trying to piece together what Spinosaurus looked like. You got the designs like Spinosaurus, of course, from Jurassic Park 3, which for the longest time we thought that was the most accurate design. But now we know, based upon, different elements being discovered in Sahara Desert, that it has a different look. There was a paper that came out as far as 2014 of Spinosaurus having a weird design with the sail, and it also had a tail fluke. And based upon the oxygen isotopes being found in the bones, Spinosaurus is thought to have been most of its life in marine, um, going after large sawfish like Oscopristis. And it was just a
Wait,
monstrous animal.
hold up. They were isotopically marine?
As far as I know,
I'm looking
I
that
want to say, is that accurate?
I'm looking
That might
that
not
up.
be accurate.
Pull up chat.
I would imagine that they
Jamie, pull that
probably
up.
Yeah,
transitioned.
pull that up because don't
Spinosaurus isotopes.
maybe
Oh,
more
isotopes are wrong.
freshwater.
I'm studying them.
Well, if I recall the Chem group, that is going to, or at least the Chem beds, that site is going to be a deltaic environment. So you would have brackish
Yeah.
environments with
The the
points.
the the article I can find uh establishes that the isotopes suggest that they are semi-aquatic, not marine.
Semi-aquatic. Thank
Yeah.
you. Okay,
Which, sure, that
semi-aquatic.
that makes a lot of sense, but
Yeah.
like they're not from a marine.
Yeah, they're not from marine rocks, so yeah, that makes a lot more sense. I meant to say semi-aquatic, but then
Gotcha. Okay, cool. Okay. Just I was like, damn, that's good. That'd be interesting if it was
Well,
true.
so,
Because
so in
as my good friend Morgan Freeman says, Spinosaurus is proof of dinosaurs. What do you say? He didn't say colonizing, which is good. It's a good thing he didn't use that word. Spinosaurus proof of dinosaurs establishing themselves in marine environments. Uh, Spinosaurus isn't from a marine environment. It's
yeah.
plausible they could have gone to a marine environment, but
but we don't
There's no
find
evidence. Yeah,
dinosaurs
that's a
Yeah,
in
hypothesis that
rocks.
should be
Yeah,
tested and
The
not
it
just.
is. Yeah.
chem beds are interesting though, in that since um, it's classically interpreted as a freshwater environment with some brackish and possible marine influence. The marine influence of there is, in my opinion, somewhat supported in that we do find some predominantly marine taxa in there. For example, Leptostyrax, Crototus, Protolamna, all
yep,
of these lamniform sharks that are predominantly marine, we do find on occasion in the chem beds. So
yeah.
it's possible that there is some marine influence going on with that.
Coastal
So,
estuary, cross-pollinating currents of, yeah,
yes.
like the bull shark, coming
Is
into
it
the.
true that we also have plesiosaurs in there too?
Yes.
Okay, okay.
Yes.
I figured that that was the case.
So with that though, like there is the possibility that these sharks are or were euryhaline in ability like a bull shark, where they would have been able to cross into freshwater brackish environments. So that could explain that. We just don't
Yeah,
have much evidence for that in other sites, which makes it somewhat um, questionable. But I mean, it could happen, and we know of more and more chondrichthyans that are able to do that, that are able to cross into fresh and saltwater environments and anything in between there. But yeah, going back to Spinosaurus, what's the current maximum size estimates for them?
I think it's still like 50 feet long, right? It's still
Yeah.
ridiculous.
yeah. I think it's around that estimate. And that's just going off of partial skeletons that we have. No complete Spinosaurus skeleton has been found.
Yeah.
So a lot of these estimates are being pushed by some of the largest bones in their body.
Now let's talk
Right.
about Titanoboa to compare.
Yeah, Titanoboa is just ridiculously huge. Um, the estimates that I've heard of Titanoboa are around like maybe 45 to 50 feet.
I've heard similar estimates for them.
Yeah,
And
but it's a snake. So like, yeah,
No,
there you
it's
go. So it's an animal that weighs about a ton. Big snake, really scary.
Yeah.
It also lived in it also lived like around the Paleocene, Eocene thermal
Thermal
maximum.
maximum. Yeah.
Yeah, which is this big high stand of temperature in the immediate. So everybody thinks that the time of the mammals is a lot colder than the me- than than the Mesozoic that preceded it. This is true for the last half of the Cenozoic, the time of the mammals. But during the first half, it was as warm as any other time in the Mesozoic,
Mhm.
and you had Arctic rainforests and stuff. So mammals are really coming into their own in this very, very hot, hothouse, jungly world, which I think is cool and interesting.
also, when we're talking about Titanoboa, with how large it is, modern day constrictor snakes, like what Titanoboa would have been, they are insanely strong. So I guess the
Yeah.
closest analog for a Titanoboa around today would be like an anaconda in
Yeah.
the Amazon jungle, which is semi-aquatic. You can find them in the river systems and stuff.
I
But
mean,
animals
yeah.
are immensely strong.
I mean,
Immense.
if that thing got a hold of you, I mean, the bones would snap in your body. I
Yeah,
mean,
your internal organs would be
it
like
would just
mush.
mush. So
Tube,
think about
tuba,
that for
tube of toothpaste.
think about that to a snake that is estimated to be like 40 to 50 feet long. I mean, you're done. I mean, I would have to go with Titanoboa simply because if we look at, boa constrictors today, and if we look at how their behavior is, I mean, we're talking about a crushing force that is unimaginable. I mean, Spinosaurus is cool. It's one of my favorite dinosaurs, but I mean, the snout, it's got these skinny teeth, usually just for piercing, prey in the river system. I don't think it's gonna really go against a snake of that proportion, of that size.
And if that snake wraps around and part of Spinosaurus, it's Spinosaurus is screwed. I
I
mean,
mean,
granted, it'll be
look,
hard with the sail, but like the
yeah, I
neck.
was gonna say the
Yeah.
sail is just
Yeah.
so fragile. I mean, even if Spinosaurus trip, it's done. Like,
Wait,
And, and
hold
all,
on. I'm going back into this after. Are we seriously debating whether or not Titanoboa is too much of a challenge for Spinosaurus? Is that where we're at?
I
We
think
are.
it would be a little bit challenging, yeah.
yeah.
And also completely
Spinosaurus can
integral.
pick up Titanoboa with its mouth and shake it around and throw it 200 feet at a distance.
Yeah, I think that
The size differences here, you were talking about size. Titanoboa weighs like about as much as a cow. Spinosaurus has more firepower than any predator on the planet today.
yeah. So we're looking at weight estimate.
What is going on?
It's like 7 and 8 tons is like the
Fucking
approximate weight.
stop.
But we're talking about
And
it's
whereas
not just weight though, it's strength.
Yeah.
Doesn't
And or
right, but that maximizes to a point of where you have an ant you and again the snake though is only about like at its thickest point. How wide is the snake's thickest point? Like a foot or two? Maybe at the biggest point, it's 2 feet, maybe less than 2 feet thick. So you have that entire long exposed area, which is basically the body of a snake, that could be clawed, stepped on, bitten, torn up, because it's that whole long assembly line of a vertebral column that you would just need to like mess up to kill the snake or to at least get it to disengage. Its crushing weight is unimaginable, sure, but in many different scenarios, a dinosaur that weighs a lot more than it can kill it a lot more easier than the snake can kill the dinosaur.
Yes, like anacondas take caiman by like ambushing them when they're like sleeping or like basking on a riverbed. And they take caiman that are like the same like size as themselves. They're not taking animals 8 times their size.
Yeah, I mean, do maybe there are recorded cases of this. I won't use this as a huge argument, but are there any uh, anacondas that are taking jaguars routinely? Is that a thing that we like know of, or is it that the jaguar would just be too much for the anaconda, even though an anaconda could technically
I
strangle it if it gets around its neck, but
I don't know. I mean, with snakes, you get Burmese python in Florida routinely getting large alligators. You get again anacondas and caiman.
they don't compete to a I think the theme, if we're to tie in the freshwater episode here, is that things that are non-crocodilian that kind of come in to the into the river systems are physically superior to the things that are squamates or fish. So like if you're like some sort of thing that became a river dwelling, whether you be like a mammal or a dinosaur who's become river dwelling, I feel like you're pretty much wrecking any squamate that you're matching up with, especially if you weigh
Eight
six,
tons.
seven, eight, like
And you
yeah,
step
if
on
you
it and
weigh
it's
eight
done.
times more than the squamate, like you could kill it. And so I'd say
Yeah. Well,
Spinosaurus.
what if the Titanoboa tied itself into a noose and slid itself around a sleeping Spinosaurus' neck? Like this isn't plausible. Like this is
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you could yes, like it has amazing strength, but if we're talking about like an actual fight, this isn't like Charlize Theron beating up like grown men who weigh 260 pounds. This is what we're kind of like diving into the territory, but that's not real life. So
I mean, you make some interesting points. You
that's
do.
why I think we talk about like weight, like the weight's too much. It's definitely a threat, But in an actual ecosystem, it would be more of a threat to juvenile subadult Spinosaurs than a grown bull Spinosaurus. Spinosaurus is among the three kings, the three megatheropods, right? Carcharodontosaurus, Rex, and then Spino. I am not gonna. I can't fathom the snake going against one of the three kings.
To be fair, I think
Different.
if they were in the same environment, Spinosaurus would stick to Onchoprisis anyways.
Which one's Onchoprisis again?
That's the saw skate.
Oh, yes, yes. Yeah. I mean, it would. But if we're talking about them like duking it out, I think that yeah, Spino takes it because he could just gut each one claw, just gutting that belly open of the snake, or slicing its organs open, or slicing its spine. Like, what if it just nicks its spine? That's it. No
As
more
much as I
snake.
would like an upset against Spinosaurus, I will reluctantly agree that Spinosaurus is
You
the only
convinced
right
me.
choice.
You convinced me.
Yeah, Spinosaurus.
That took too long. That was
They're both cool. Oh, it's hard.
No, it's an absolute. No, I say that
it's a
it
curse
almost
stop for
comes close.
Spinosaurus.
Like, it's a giant reptile that almost comes close, but it just doesn't quite get into the megatheropod, realm.
Yeah, our next lineup is Purosaurus brasiliensis versus Baryonyx walkeri.
Pterosaurus.
Pterosaurus.
In a fight,
Yeah,
Purosaurus.
Ursaurus
Pterosaurus.
weighs like a million
Um,
times more.
Well, let's talk about what Purosaurus is, because this is an immensely large animal. This is a caiman. And what's insane about this is that this was from the Miocene. So this wasn't all too long ago. Like when you think about like Deinosuchus or Sarcosuchus, that's in the Cretaceous. But this is a Neogene animal that got to those size ranges. And if you think that a Deinosuchus skull is broad, just look at
Yeah, look at that
That's
thing.
insane.
Yeah.
That's
Come on.
What was it
I
eating
hate
though?
that.
Like, what kind of mammals?
It was
Like
eating Titanoboa. They're from the same
Pyrotheres,
system,
I
right?
guess,
like pyrotheres, like weird South American.
yeah.
Pantodonts. Pantodonts are like these weird, like generalized mammal form that weighs like a ton.
I don't think pantodonts are they still around in the Miocene of South
This is
America?
Miocene. I thought.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought Purosaurus was Paleocene. Never mind. I'm
No.
wrong. I need to stay in my lane, Mesozoic.
So, I mean, I'd imagine things
I'm
like
getting another beer. Be right back.
I'd imagine things like sloths and capybara and anything that wandered into the water would have been fair game.
Yeah. No, it did.
Anything.
Yeah. Yeah, because I guess I'm saying like there had to have been some impressive size range for Purosaurus to,
Yeah.
Well, actually, think of it this way. Uh, Maybe the selection pressure was that, it's not hunting things as big as dinosaurs, but it wants to more easily hunt things. And there's a plethora of things that weigh 2 to 4,000 pounds, let's say, right?
Sure.
And then so evolving to be ridiculously giant means that you're having better success at the 2 and 4,000 pound range for prey. So it's not that it's evolving the size to hunt dinosaurs. It's evolving to hunt some pretty decent Miocene sized mammals. So maybe that's the selection pressure that it's going after.
Just absolutely insane animals.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
Ridiculous.
preposterous. Yeah. Yeah. So
Yeah, and
even though Suchomimus is pretty large, it's actually a lot larger than you would think. Like it's actually kind of more surprisingly large than
I've got the
than you'd imagine.
cast.
We're,
And this
we're
is
doing
pretty, it's kind of
baryonyx, not
exaggerated,
Suchomimus.
but this is the
Cool.
cast of
Hell yeah.
Baryonyx walkeri claw. I mean, just the thumb
Oh,
claw alone
wait.
does a lot of damage.
Doesn't Purosaurus live with Stupendimes, the giant turtle?
let me see.
I thought Titanoboa lived with that one. Maybe I'm wrong on that one.
How do you spell it?
Uh, It is
Oh yeah,
spelled
there it goes.
Tupndemys.
Yes, it did.
I did.
That's probably what it's
There you go.
Sorry, Cam, I didn't mean to interrupt. I just that
Oh
like
no,
popped
no,
in my
you're
brain.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
The
There we go.
crushing
Yeah,
claw.
so what the heck is going on in this Miocene river system, man? Everything's just Mesozoic size.
Baryonyx wouldn't stand a chance with this.
Let's talk about baryonyx. Let's give it at least a shot.
I mean, wasn't it found? Wasn't the first fossil found was like that giant claw? Yeah, I
Yeah, I
mean,
think it's William Walker, right?
William Walker
Yeah.
found it. And it was just a gigantic claw, and then an excavation was held, I want to say in the 1980s, and they found a partial skeleton of and the reason why we know a lot more about Spinosaurus and Spinosaurids is because of baryonyx. Um,
Right.
kind of filled
Yeah.
in a lot of what our understanding of this group of dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Yeah, and baryonyx too. It's a spinosaurid, so it's related to Spinosaurus, but it's not as aquatically adapted as Spinosaurus is.
Yeah, and it lacks that sail.
Yes, but
Right.
it still is believed that it was at least a little bit semi-aquatic, going into river systems and things like that, and consuming fish.
Yeah. Yeah, in fact, there are fish scales found in the stomach cavity of baryonyx.
And there's still a decent
1190.
sized dinosaur too, but when we're
Yeah,
pairing it with Prionosaurus, which is one of the most metal animals who have ever evolved.
yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, baryonyx has the claws, it's got the teeth somewhat, but the size just doesn't compare to Porosaurus.
Just the
And the weight
sheer power.
alone. Yeah, the sheer crushing power alone would kill this animal.
Yeah, I'm going Prionosaurus all the way.
Yeah, I'm definitely going with Porosaurus.
Yep.
Sorry, baryonyx. You're cool, but yeah.
All right, so our next round, we have Hippopotamus gorgops versus Deinosuchus riograndensis. And
Ooh.
I'm 100% going Deinosuchus on this one.
Yeah. Okay. Mammal, end of the line for the mammals.
There's no way. So hippopotamus, maybe it can get by with a large phytosaur, but not the largest Deinosuchus at all. There's no comparison, I
No,
think.
Deinosuchus evolved to eat things definitely that size.
Yeah, that's like honestly, that's easier prey than Deinosuchus usually takes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
don't think there's any
All right.
contention between that.
This is just fully turned into who would win in a fight now, by the way.
Mhm.
I mean, regardless, Deinosuchus is just awesome.
Dinosaurus is cooler. Yeah, I'm gonna.
Yeah.
And then the next one, we have the
Ooh.
sawfish versus Rhizotus. I think Rhizotus would absolutely
Oh
murder.
yeah, it's like
Yeah,
it's right.
right.
Yeah, next.
Are we all going Rhizotus?
I'm
Yeah.
going Rhizotus.
Rhizotus. Yeah.
Now we have
Prionosuchus.
Prionosuchus versus bull shark.
Prionosuchus.
Prionosuchus. Yeah.
Yeah, bull sharks are awesome, but yeah,
Rhinoceros.
I mean
Shark
the
is gonna
size
kill.
range is just crazy different too. Bull sharks aren't nearly that big. Now we have Spinosaurus versus Purosaurus.
Oh.
I'm gonna go Purosaurus on this. If we're talking about a crocodilian of that size, but with that type of powerful dentition and jaw structure,
What if
compared to
Spinosaurus
the
got its claws into it?
it does. I don't think it matters. I
What
mean,
if you what?
Purosaurus is armor, so they have the
Side of the neck, stick a
You could like
foot and a half
realistically
foot long claw into
yeah.
the neck.
Yeah, you could realistically deter a Purosaurus. Spinosaurus could, but if we're talking like, death match, then Prosaurus, I believe, will have to take it.
Probably. Yeah, that
I
sounds
mean,
about right.
Purosaurus is, I just think of it as a tank. It's it's just this like massive unit, whereas Spinosaurus, it's more gracile. It's gonna be more nimble, I would imagine. But I mean, just again, like the a grip of the jaws of Purosaurus, yeah, that's just terrifying. I I would go Purosaurus on this.
Yeah, I would probably go Parasaurus on this one as well.
Yeah, I believe so.
And that's it. There's the big upset of the episode.
Well, yeah, because it turned into who would win in a fight and
Well,
not
regardless,
who would.
you're talking about a monster caiman with
There,
this.
yeah, no, Purosaurus is cool, but there's other animals like Purosaurus. There was two other animals like Purosaurus on this very list. Nothing like Spinosaurus.
It's true. Wait, can I rescind my vote? He's convincing me. I didn't let him speak.
I'm that guy standing up in church.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But
Yeah,
you
I
can
so
don't,
also
I
say,
don't
yeah,
care
because
about the Cretaceous. No.
it is a ecologically, and it's a lot more of an interesting animal than Purosaurus.
well, you can also look at it like this, though. You can look at crocodilomorphs. The reason that they're not as unique is because they're just so successful and their body plan works so well under so many different environments and circumstances that they just refuse you die. Whereas if you look at Spinosaurids, they couldn't even survive that Turonian turnover event.
Uh,
I guess that's the argument we had with the sawfish versus the otter, was that the sawfish just exists for that much long.
yeah, I mean, look, cockroach versus Tyrannosaurus Rex. T-Rex couldn't even survive one mass extinction
Yeah, a
event.
cockroach
Yeah.
with a 4.6 foot skull length.
That's true. This is not a cockroach. This is
Well,
not a cockroach.
Up one.
Why am I so biased against crocodilians?
You're just a dino weenie, I guess.
That's a good word for it. Well, I like phytosaurs. I didn't even study dinosaurs. What are you talking about?
yeah, I'm just always tripped up on Purosaurus's prey size. You know, I guess it makes sense.
Yeah.
But I'm expecting
Eating,
something more. I'm expecting it to be eating like mammoths or
yeah,
something.
being large and I'm gonna tie this back to some like dinosaur discourse really quick. Actually, I'm not gonna do that. But being large is in itself a highly derived characteristic, um, which requires a lot of evolutionary investment. And so I think you need to ask for every giant animal why it's a giant, and that there must be like a very strong reason it is, or at least multiple
Yeah.
reasons.
Well, I guess if you think that Spinosaurus also it fought what's the crocodilian that Lupus Spinosaurus?
Sarcosuchus.
Sarcosuchus. Yeah, so it fought Sarcosuchus,
It
and it
fought
fought and it fought
Carcharhinus. I'm
yeah,
sure it
I mean
did at some
other
point in time.
like the Spino realm, so to speak, that Chem realm is kind of insane. It was like one of the you have three mega predators that are all in the same region. So Spinosaurus is no when you think about it, it's really no stranger to a Purosaurus like thing. Purosaurus is pretty fat,
Hmm.
but it is no stranger to a mega croc.
But if we're talking, so with Spinosaurus, though, like if you're talking about how you're surprised that Purosaurus was probably eating smaller animals, if we look at Spinosaurus, I mean, they was still believed to have been mostly piscivorous, and its prey sources would have been things like Onchoprisis, which are significantly smaller than itself.
Right. I guess
And
what
why?
I was
Yeah.
comparing it to other crocodilians that hunted dinosaurs, that hunted larger dinosaurs like Deinosuchus and Sarcosuchus. I'm just surprised that Purosaurus got so big not existing with dinosaurs and existing with much smaller mammals. Yeah, it's I don't know. I think, yeah.
This is probably our
Because
toughest one.
what are we, again, are we comparing yeah, fighting versus like what it is as a river dwelling animal? But I guess what happened to Purosaurus, right?
Hmm.
It went extinct. It didn't evolve into anything. Did it shrink? Evolve into another caiman? I don't think so. I think it just
Turned into
died.
Paleosuchus.
I mean, their
Anagenesis
group
is
are
big.
still their group is still around today. I mean, the
Well,
caimans are
birds are
still
still
really
around.
successful.
Birds are still
Yeah,
around.
but that's different. Caimans are a subfamily of alligators.
True.
All right,
I,
I
I'm
think
I'm
going
going
Spinosaurus.
Spinosaurus. it's just weirder and kind of like
Spino. I'm going
fun.
Spino.
Spino.
Yeah,
Spino.
I gotta go.
no,
Yeah,
Spino upset.
we
Let's
came back.
go.
that's
Dang,
the wrong choice.
dang.
We only have a
Bottom of the
giant croc
ninth,
that's
two
gonna win.
outs. Bottom of the ninth, 2 outs, bases loaded. Came back down 3 runs.
Our
Dinosaur.
next one is Deinosuchus versus Rhizotis.
Dinosaurs. We can, yeah.
Yep. So then I guess
I
same
love
argument, right?
Rhizotis.
Spino versus Deinosuchus. Then that's the final.
Yeah,
It's so sad.
listen, Ben, from a podcast perspective, what's more interesting?
I would personally
Borosaurus
think
versus
that
Deinosuchus or Spinosaurus versus Deinosuchus?
Rhizotis versus Purosaurus.
Yeah,
Right. Rhizotis versus Prionosuchus.
Dang, the Jaekelopterus only got mentioned once.
Hey, the Vitosaurs went out in the first round too, and they were
Dang.
the apex predators of most Triassic systems. So
I think this
terrestrial,
one's pretty
terrestrial systems.
obviously Spinosaurus.
I think
Yeah.
King of Egypt takes it.
The
Yeah.
Pharaoh,
And
Pharaoh.
Ramesses versus
oh wait, this one should
Big
have,
Tex.
which leaves us with Deinosuchus versus Spinosaurus.
Jesus.
Who would have seen this one coming?
Uh,
I feel like the arguments that we made for Purosaurus all apply with Deinosuchus,
Yeah, it's the same
and
thing.
it is the same thing. And I feel like
I feel like
Purosaurus could have been
Deinosuchus is a
better.
little bigger,
It all depends on
and
where you're getting
Deinosuchus
from.
knows dinosaurs.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
It did grow up in, I would imagine, a much harsher environment than
Well, I'm actually seeing some estimates that say Purosaurus is larger.
Okay.
yeah, I
I
think
mean, there's
it's the
like
largest
some skeletal
armadillo of all time.
things,
Yeah.
but
Now, also, I'm not a crocodilian expert, so this could be completely wrong, but I'd imagine estimating size for Purosaurus could be more accurate than estimating size for Deinosuchus, because with Purosaurus, we have modern day closer relatives like modern day caiman that you can use to extrapolate sizes. While, ecologically, since it's much larger, that might not follow all the way. But compared to Deinosuchus, where modern day analogs are far more distantly related, there's more room for error, I think, in estimating their size. But between these
you
two,
know,
I mean, I
Yeah.
still prefer crocodilians over.
I mean, if we're going to make the same case for Purosaurus, we should probably make the same case for Deinosuchus. I mean,
yeah, I think that it pretty much. I'm gonna go.
I'm gonna see how this shakes out. I'm gonna see how this shakes out, and then I'll cast a final vote.
I'm going Spino. I mean, I went. Yeah, it's basically the same argument I had against other. You know,
Well, the thing is with Deinosuchus, and Cole, I think you brought this up before, but with Purosaurus, your argument was that it was going after smaller animals and it never would have encountered something like a Spinosaurus. Deinosuchus would have encountered objectively worse dinosaurs than Spinosaurus, I think.
We are talking about
I mean,
Tyrannosaurus.
okay. Are Deinosuchus latest Maastrichtian?
No, they're not.
It's
No,
But they're
Campanian.
we
still
might
large
have them in the
Tyrannosaurs.
we might have
Yeah,
them in
20
the
20 to 30
Edmontonian.
foot Tyrannosaurs, not 40-foot Tyrannosaur.
No.
No,
But
once
then
once
Well,
again, a Spinosaurus
maybe,
is not
maybe,
a
because the Hall
Tyrannosaur
Lake
either.
stuff has
A,
Tyrannosaurus
sp a
apparently, which is
Spinosaurus could take a Spinosaurus could take a 25-foot Gorgosaurus.
No, we're not doing Jurassic Park 3 again, guys.
yeah.
No, I think so. Like when you have like Tyrannosaurus macroensis, that existed at least in the same time period as Deinosuchus, not in the same spot, right? Am I correct?
It's
Yeah,
gotta
maybe.
have. It's gotta have.
So,
Okay.
So let me,
but
because I
is
study the Edmontonian, so let me
yeah,
break this down. Okay,
yeah.
so Deinosuchus, the latest occurrences that are like we're certain of, at least in Lyramidia. I don't know the Appalachian stuff as well, but it essentially looks like the Judith stuff is the youngest Deinosuchus. But in the Williams Fork Formation, which is what I study, there are these huge osteoderms that might be Deinosuchus or a Phalotosaur or a Goniophlid. We're not totally sure. If that is Deinosuchus, that is the very latest Deinosuchus, or sorry, the very youngest Deinosuchus in the
And that's
geologic
what,
record.
early Maastrichtian?
It's latest Campanian to earliest Maastrichtian. The ammonite zones are like 74 to 71 MA. We finally have a detrital zircon date that puts us about 72, about halfway up the formation, and the maybe Deinosuchus fossils from the same lens as the zircon date. So
Yeah.
72 MA is like the absolute maximum up the Cretaceous scale that Deinosuchus goes. And we seemingly have Tyrannosaurus in Texas and New Mexico, right? So, yeah, I mean,
You believe
Deinosuchus and
who's on that team?
Tyrannosaurus might have actually met each other. That there is a
And then
Tyrannosaurus
there's
like
Macroensis.
lacrimal from the Judith, so
Oh,
it's
okay.
possible that Tyrannosaurus is floating around in
That's scary.
things like the Williams.
We've got some of the oldest examples in Appalachia, places around in New Jersey and also in Georgia. I think the deposits there extend from like the San Antonian to the late Campanian, or the earliest San
Late
Antonian
Campanian,
to the
okay. But
Campanian.
you don't
So,
get Deinosuchus in like the PD stuff, right? Or the you get in the
not
Blufftown stuff in
no, you
Georgia,
get
but
into the yeah, you get into the Blufftown in Georgia, but I don't think you get into the
yeah,
PD.
yeah, that's right. I think you get in the
You
Black
also get
Mountain
into
stuff.
the Cosetta sand. And also in Mississippi,
Right,
we've got some exposures that are, I want to say, late Campanian as well.
right, but
Um,
not the Ripley stuff, right?
no, I don't think
Okay,
so.
interesting. But
I'm
so
going Deinosuchus.
yeah, me too.
Dinosuchus.
Yeah, me too.
I think Harrison made a pretty good argument with the Prosaurus and Spinosaurus argument. So I'm probably gonna have to go with Spinosaurus.
I think I might have to stick by my I have to stick by my argument as far as like a river dwelling animal is pretty cool, and plus, you know, Spinosaurus defeated T-Rex in fictitious literature and media,
God.
but in real life, Deinosuchus got frame mogged by T-Rex once it showed up on the once it showed up on the scene. Deinosuchus goes away right when T-Rex shows up. So I wonder what happened there. I think like mogged
I
is
think in
what I
New
think.
Jersey we also have a Dryptosaur bone that's got like Deinosuchus bite traces all over it.
Well,
So I don't know if that's for scavenging or predation, but that does exist.
yeah, then plus we don't find any in the Hell Creek, any Deinosuchus, unfortunately.
No.
No.
I would like to find some.
We do
But
find, isn't Borealisuchus, is that also is that in the Hell Creek?
yes, yep. And then lasts up until the Green River
Green
Formation.
River. Yeah.
Yeah.
Different species, I assume.
Yeah, I'll just see on the species. Yeah, I mean it would biologically it would probably have to be the species.
Yeah.
Paleontologically, I don't know if there's been a different species designation yet, but I think so. Um, but
So
yeah.
so we have
So
Joel and I on team Deinosuchus, and we have Cam and Harrison on Spinosaurus, which means tie breaking boat.
that's right, Joel. I'll still like you anyway. Any way you go, I'll still accept
Wait,
you.
wait,
And
Damn.
wait. Well,
No,
I
it's
thought
Tom.
I thought Joel was Team Dinosuchus,
Yeah,
and
I'm
so
Team Dinosuchus.
yeah,
Yeah.
so
I'm the tie-breaking vote.
yes.
Oh, okay.
Bring us home.
We should flip a coin.
Oh God.
Do a coin flip.
I was
Yeah,
Might as
Spinosaurus is
well.
prettier.
Yeah.
Spinosaurus is better looking guy.
Okay. Actually, hold on. So imagine Spinosaurus, right? And it's at like dusk in Egypt 95 million years ago. I got that right?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. Dusk in Egypt 95 million years ago. And you're on a riverbank and you look across the river and you see like maybe a half dozen of these like tall silhouettes of like a heron, like a reptilian heron, like, with its long snout curled in on itself, staring down. And you just see that dotting the river for as far as you can see. I think that's, I think it's a Spinosaurus win.
Here we
Ooh.
go.
So
Pure
frame
vibes.
buying.
Yes.
Pure
Pure
vibes.
vibes.
Gotcha.
Guys, who would have thought Spinosaurus won Freshwater March Madness?
Oh, come on. The competition was Dinosuchus. Okay.
I'm sorry it wasn't Rhizotus, Ben.
It's okay, Rhizotus will live in our hearts.
Jaekelopterus will live in my heart. That poor invertebrate son of a gun. The only one.
But if you got this far, please let us know in the comments what you think. Did we pick the right animal? Do you think Spinosaurus was truly the
Yeah.
winner
Let
for
us know with as
Freshwater
much
March?
vitriol as you can muster how wrong.
Right.
If people want to argue with me personally, do it. I'm serious. I would love to have a meaningless argument in the YouTube comment section. Bringing it back to the roots of paleontology. That's
Should be.
paleontology its purest form right there.
And don't
Arguing
forget
over
to
who would win
like,
in a fight in
comment,
the YouTube
subscribe,
comments.
hit that notification bell, and we'll catch you guys on the next episode.